Hello, thank you for joining. My name is Jason Etter, and I'm the Director of Business Development at Profound Cloud. Today's session is covering Google's Android for Work. I'll address how Google for Work tackles the enterprise space by finally delivering something in addition to the App Suite that empowers today's mobile workforce. I'll try to save some time for questions at the end, but we'll make sure to contact you directly should I not have time to respond during the session. Also, this session will be recorded, and I'll be certain to share with you, certain to contact you should you be interested in receiving a copy. During this session, you'll notice that there's a questions area right over here, if this is what your dashboard looks like. It might be a modified version of this, but if you do click right here where it says questions, you can ask questions at any time. And that's where I'll be keeping a running tally of the questions. And if there's anything I don't address during the webinar, I'll make sure to answer them at the end of the session. Okay? And just for some quick housekeeping, I just want to tell you who Profound Cloud is. So we're an award-winning IT service organization based in New York City. We're a team of business advisors, technology experts, and support superstars, all of whom are focused on one thing, which is supporting our clients' growth. We deploy cloud solutions for proven partners like Google and deliver high-touch white glove support and management services to ensure our clients' continued success. Now, let's take a look at Android for Work. So in order to understand what Android for Work is, let's take a step back and understand what Google saw in terms of the Android dilemma. So this is a report done by, as you can see right here, DasInfo. You can actually find this very quickly if you do a search for it, if you want to get this information. And they discovered that 84 to 85% of the mobile OS market share is Android. That's right, 84 to 85% of the operating market is Android. That is really substantial. However, this is not the case for enterprise. Only about 20% of enterprises even allow Android due to the concerns relating to balancing security and user privacy, lack of data separation and leakage, and fragmentation, or OS versions, if you will. And there's a lack of some type of standardized management solution and app distribution as well. And these are things that are all very important to, especially IT administrators and CIOs. But let's have a reality check, though. Frost and Sullivan performed a survey and uncovered that 80% of end users use unapproved apps, and 79% are using consumer read-free file sharing and collaboration tools. Additionally, CIO Insight recently performed a survey with 300 IT workers and 300 line of business workers. They reported that 81% of line of business workers and 83% of IT staff admitted to using non-approved SaaS applications. This is Dropbox, Box, even Google in some cases if your organization hasn't gone Google. People are using these devices on a personal use. And this personal use and corporate concerns, the two of them are not jiving. So you have 85% to 86% adoption of Android, but only 20% of enterprises adopting Android. And you have these, well over 80% of end users are using these unapproved applications. What are they trying to do? Well, you see, work happens everywhere. It turns out that the office isn't the only place where work gets done. In fact, according to Forrester, 37% of information workers work from 3 or more locations every month. People work while traveling, at remote offices, and from home, and they need to be productive wherever they are. So, and this is also being done on more devices than ever. And what does this mean? It means that multiple locations and multiple devices are being used. I personally know that I worked on this presentation from my MacBook at the office, my iPad at home, and my phone during my bus ride into New York. Smartphones and tablets are increasing in importance. 50% of workers spend more time working from their phones, and 66% of workers spend more time working from their tablets than they did 1 year ago. Google has been extremely focused on this proliferation of devices because it means that workers want more access. So BYOD is expected to grow an additional 25% on an annual basis. Additionally, corporate issue devices is still holding at approximately 9%. So with the overwhelming growth of unsupported applications and devices accessing corporate data, and the trend of mobile workers growing exponentially, now is why Google is embracing the need to deliver the best of each technology to the most commonly accessed mobile operating system, which is Android. So this is where we introduce Android for Work. Android for Work was designed to answer both the market demand along with the corporate requirements demanded by administrators in order to deploy a mobile workforce. This is why Google is offering a platform that assists in managing all Android devices, corporate or BYOD. Additionally, Google designed a specific Google Play for Work distribution system to simplify the management and deployment of approved applications. There's also standardized management across all OEMs. So if you're on the latest version of Android or even Ice Cream Sandwich, support will be available. What does all this do? Well, it simplifies the decisions and work required for your IT teams and CIOs. And to further advocate the importance Google is taking in this rollout, look at this. Already, they have formed partnerships prior to launch. You'll see all the EMM providers that you likely are working with or are considering at least, such as AirWatch, MobileIron, SAP, and they all work with Android for Work. So what is it, right? So Android for Work. Google has harnessed Android for Work into 3 separate categories. So Android for Work is security, apps, and management, okay? By security, Android for Work provides an improved app operating system and device security. Additionally, if you want to be an approved OEM, you must meet specific hardware requirements. The app management capabilities is such a win for CIOs who desperately want to free their workforce to access information from their devices while sleeping well at night knowing they're safe and secure. As a reminder, this was designed with both BYOD and corporate issue devices in mind. One of the primary goals of Android for Work was to separate personal data from corporate data and ensure that it's encrypted across either. Probably most important with respect to the growing trend of mobile use, Google is really buckling down on delivering a solution that offers secure file storage. This is critical. So then next we have apps. For apps, this is a complete shift of how apps were managed on Android. Google Play for Work allows each organization to curate or whitelist their own set of applications from the entire Google Play library. To reiterate, there are approximately 250,000 productivity apps on the Play Store, and your team will have the capability to manage who accesses what. Corporations can now deploy any third-party or internally designed application that exists in the Play Store. No app wrapping is needed as well. And then management. As a reminder, all the previously mentioned EMMs have access to the same set of APIs. App development is also standardized as well. The management and appearance is also standardized, so regardless of which Android device you're using, the user experience is the same. One huge win is you won't have to depend on the provider to deliver security updates and patches. Google will distribute this through the Play for Work interface, making consistency across the board. I want to now break this down into these 3 categories, but go a little deeper in terms of understanding what they're offering specifically. So let's start with security. Secure app installation from Google Play is one of the big ones. So Google has introduced a whole new set of Google Play APIs, as I mentioned, for EMM providers to enable app management and distribution. These EMM providers are also the only mechanism for app deployment in Android for Work. So as a result, apps cannot, under any circumstances, be sideloaded into the native client, which adds a greater protection from any type of threatening applications that might be out there. This is a new process, and it's combined with Lollipop, Android for Work, which is a profile, and it enables IT managers to deploy any Play app into the Google Play Store to a secure Android container without any additional wrapping. So as you can see actually in this image, you can see that all these applications have this large logo, and it's contained into its own work folder, if you will, okay? And so like I'm talking about, there's this separate container for work apps. So Android for Work simplifies mobile app management and security by providing a secure profile or container to Android devices running on Android 4.0 and higher. Through an EMM vendor, IT admins can securely provision and containerize apps on any device with an Android for Work profile or Android for Work app. There's also data loss prevention. This gives you the ability for the user to share into and outside of Android for Work managed by the EMM governance policies. This includes the ability to block copy-paste or block screen capture for apps inside the managed profile. Okay, pretty impressive stuff. They also have selective wipe, which is, I know, something that a lot of people have been asking for. Android for Work gives your admins easily retire lost or stolen devices and remotely wipe all work data while leaving personal content intact on the device. So if someone leaves the office and then you have a BYOD policy, you can simply wipe all the work data right off the bat. And then they can continue using their device for personal use. And also there's a protection against malicious app downloads. So Android for Work protects business apps and data from the user's personal activity outside their profile, such as side loading. I mentioned this already, but there really is a whole other layer of protection that did not exist and was really yearned for before. Now let's talk about the apps. Android for Work features a suite of secure, badged personal information manager, or PIM, apps designed to help workers easily distinguish between personal and work apps on the device. As you can see right here, if it has this badge, you are accessing work content. Perfect example, you have work mail here, or work Chrome here, and there's your personal Chrome. So on the device, you'll know when you're accessing your corporate information through Chrome, logged in and authenticated as your Google Apps for Business user, and then or here just accessing Google through your regular @gmail.com account. Android for Work also enables a granular VPN capabilities with the managed profile, which eliminates the need for device-wide VPN. And IT can maintain greater security and control over corporate app communication on the device. Organizations concerned about security for their private or in-house apps can also choose to self-host these apps either internally or through their EMM provider. But either way, these self-hosted apps can be executed excluded from public search results in the Google Play Store. So if you have your own app that, let's say it's called My Company Report app, whatever you want to call it. You've created it. You make it available in the Google Play Store. You cannot find it through search, and it's completely owned by you and your domain that wants to install that, and you can push that across the entire domain. So speaking of push that across the entire domain, let's talk about management, which allows self-install. So using the EMM console, IT admins can silently install, remove, and update apps inside Android for Work. So this really simplifies the entire user experience, and it also makes it just a lot easier for IT admins. So you don't have to actually touch the device, right? You just do everything from the management console and you push it to the devices. Similar to how you would receive an update from your provider, you are now providing updates for your work data, your corporate information, your applications that you want to have access to, which is great. Once applications are installed, they are configured on the device via a specific application restriction. So when developers create an app, they can specify which settings on the app can accept. On the EMM console, the IT admin can configure the settings on a particular application. And then when Android for Work is configured, app settings are pushed to the device. Last part about management is I want to talk about unified app management across devices. So enterprise management is easier with consistent, secure work containers across different Android device manufacturers. So if whether you're using you have Samsungs, you have Asus, you have whatever you might have Nexus devices, whatever it is you have out there. Your IT staff has a unified way to secure these apps and manage the disparate devices. And you can enforce the same security policies on any Android device without any concern about, well, this is a Samsung and this version of Samsung, et cetera. You're able to, really make that much more seamless. So I think something that's really worth mentioning, though, is if you're looking to go to enable Android for work, which, by the way, I haven't mentioned yet, is it's going to be free. If you're already a Google for Work or Google for Work Unlimited user, you're going to get this as an add-on. It's just going to be part of the app suite for you, making your life just that much easier. In addition to, if you're already a Google Apps Unlimited or Google Apps for Work organization, all of this just speaks so strongly for enabling Google Apps for Work more so across your organization from a mobile perspective. So think about with that, the extra layer of management capability is how when you're sharing 2 terabyte media library with the Drive app on your mobile device, and you're able to have unlimited storage if you're using Google Apps Unlimited. And you never have to worry about running out of space. Everything is being accessed from your mobile device, and it's completely managed through Android for Work. Your IT team can set controls on how people at your company can share files externally, and they're also looking to provide finer controls that will let the IT team let mobile workers access data as they want to. And that's where Android for Work comes in. So you have the control over the actual, let's say in this particular case, it's Google Drive, which is obviously replicated across all users. But then you also have the device aspect of it where you can, keep those profiles contained and specific policies in line with your, what you're required to do at your organization. And Google for Work comes with Drive, Docs, Sheets, Slides, Hangouts, Google Plus, Gmail, Calendar, Contacts, Groups, Sites, and all of this is completely available to organizations. You have Chat, Hangouts, if I haven't mentioned that as well. But those same policies are in place, and whether you're accessing this information from an Android tablet or an Android phone, you still have Android for Work enabled, and you can manage this in a way that just was not possible 2 weeks ago. So enterprise level file synchronization, storage, and sharing, robust and accessible documentation creation from any device. Google Drive combined with Android for Work is designed to help IT teams who want to give their users the best experience while keeping their business safe. All of this run on the same infrastructure that is used from Google, which is among the most advanced in the world. So Android for Work expands on the security controls and reporting Google Apps for Work already delivers by embracing the way that we work today, which has changed dramatically from the traditional infrastructure. Remember the slides we talked about earlier about, people are trying to get their job done. I had a meeting earlier today talking to someone, an organization about why Google in particular, and we didn't even get to the Android for Work aspect of it. But remember that the reason why you went Google in the first place is on any device you have this accessibility, and you're able to create, store, share, communicate, collaborate so seamlessly. And then now with that extra layer on top of that with Android for Work, it really makes, I think it's the finishing touches, the icing on the cake for why Google for Work is such a compelling argument. So rather than waiting to hear from Google or, or following all the update stream, I recommend you work with Profound Cloud. So the type of information that I just delivered to you is readily available to our Google for Work partners who have embraced our enhanced admin support. We recognize that no one knows your business and staff better than you and your team. However, who's helping you? That's where Profound Cloud comes in. We offer white glove Google support that is competitively priced. Our enhanced admin support, in addition to support, includes monthly training sessions and, most importantly, scheduled time to discuss product updates with your technology vision. If you've gone Google, it's critical to keep a constant dialogue with your partner. And we're not just here to renew your licenses, we're here to help improve your overall experience utilizing Google Apps. You didn't go Google just to perform a migration. You chose a platform to revolutionize your productivity. And we welcome the chance to talk with you, so please feel free to call 888-364-0080 or email me directly, jason@profoundcloud.com. If you need to hear more information, just go to profoundcloud.com/blog, and you'll see a whole slew of information. We're always updating information. We're always trying to stay up to date, and we're always doing webinars and trying to get this information out here because our goal is to make the Google Apps for Work experience better. And we welcome the opportunity to work with you guys. So I appreciate everyone's time today and hope this has been valuable. And happy St. Patrick's Day if you're celebrating. Thank you very much, and I hope everybody has a great day.